Hello, everybody. Welcome to Weekly Trash, the safe place to cleanse your mind, body, and soul of all that trash you consume this week so you can consume some more tomorrow. I'm your host, Josie Van Dyke, and it is Trash Day. Welcome to today's solo episode with a raspy, sexy voice, Josie. I lost my voice. I got sick, and now I sound like this. So I have a hot coffee right here. Might be sipping on it every once in a while to try to help. My throat doesn't hurt. I don't feel sick, but I sound horrible. Let's just dive right into personal trash because I was solo parenting this weekend. Pedro was on a golf trip, which before people are like, oh my gosh, he was on a golf trip. Like, we hate him. No, like I fully think he deserved it. I think men deserve to have fun too. Okay. And I was fully supportive of him going on the golf trip. I think it's healthy for each of us to have hobbies and friends outside of each other. So I was like, yes, go have a great time with your friends. Have a golf trip because I know I want to have a girls trip one day and I want you to be supportive. So we love him even though he went on a golf trip because men can do things too. But he just happened to leave the day I got sick. So he left on Thursday, got back Monday night. And Thursday is when I started to feel a little bit of a sore throat. And I was like, this isn't good. And I woke up the next morning, no voice, and double pink eye. Double pink eye. Now, before you're like, Josie, were you sniffing butts? Like, why did you have pink eye? Banks had pink eye. And Banks had pink eye first. Obviously, I got it from him because I'm his caregiver, taking care of him. And I obviously wasn't washing my hands good enough. So I got pink eye. Luckily, the pediatrician who I went for Banks's pink eye gave me a lot of extra eye drops. So that way she knew it was inevitable that one of us in our family was going to get it. We could use those eye drops and heal ourselves. So I was able to use those eye drops, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday were not fun. They were not fun at all because I was sick, double pink eye, and alone with 3 children, but we did it. We did it. We made it. Bedtime. I mean, if you have kids, you know, like solo parenting is just, it's not for the weak. And people who do it on a regular basis, not by choice, but because they have to, they're better than us. They're better than us. And if you are one of those people, my heart goes out to you because you're brave, you're strong, you're smart. And I'm weak, but now I feel fine. I just sound crazy. I still wake up every morning with like eye crusties, but I don't have pink eye anymore. I think it's just like slowly healing. But that was the biggest trash of the week, was being a solo parent while Pedro golfed. Again, happy for him. Some more things on my personal trash since we last spoke. I had my birthday staycation with my besties, Bree and Maddie. We've done it. It's like a tradition now every year where us 3 get a hotel and we spend the night, and then we do like a dinner with another group of friends. We all get together, and then sometimes after we'll go to the hotel after and we'll all hang out and talk. And it just like brings back high school memories. I think I said this last episode that was about my birthday staycation, how like we all morph back into like our high school selves and we talk about high school stuff and just like be girls having a sleepover, like a little slumber party. So it was super fun. But Maddie and Bree surprised me because they had 30 people in my life write like a little happy birthday message and they put it on balloons. I'm pretty sure it was Maddie's idea. So I'm going to give Maddie credit for that, unless Bree, you want to object and say you were part of that. But I wish I could say I was surprised that they did something special, but I wasn't. But I was surprised that it was the balloon thing. Because here's the thing. I am very hard to surprise. Like the fact that I had a surprise party for my 30th was like crazy. But we go every year, like we go to the mall or do something, and then we go to the hotel, and then we get ready, and then we go to dinner. And me, Maddie, and Brie always like drive together because we're all spending the night in the hotel. So I text the day before and I'm like, hey, like what time are we meeting? Like, should we meet at Harmon's at like 2:30 or whatever? And Maddie was like, oh man, like I have to go to the hotel before, because she had said that the hotel was giving it to us for free for like a collab. Because Maddie does social media. And so she was like, I got it for free. I have to go meet like the manager or something. And I was like, that's kind of weird because I've worked with a hotel before and you don't really like talk to the manager, but I was like, who knows? Maybe this hotel does things differently. And so she was like, I have to meet with them before, so you guys can just drive separate and I'll meet you at the hotel. And that already like gave a little red flag because I was like, well, why don't we just all leave earlier and go with you? But I was like, no, I'm going to play dumb. It's going to be fine. Like, it's fine. I'll just pretend like I don't know what's going on. And then me and Bree, we get to the mall and Maddie's still at the hotel. And Maddie's like, oh my gosh, they're being so annoying. Like they don't have our reservation. Like they're so confused. And so then I was like, wait, maybe this is real. Like maybe she really has a collab with this hotel. And well, I always kind of thought she had a collab with the hotel. I always kind of assumed the hotel would have been free. It wasn't. Shout out Maddie and Bree. They paid for it. But I was like, okay, maybe this is real. Maybe there is some issues going on and they're not surprising me. But I was like, no, I just know Maddie and I know there's going to be like something in the room. Like I'm going to get to the room and there's going to be like candy or a present or something because I just felt it in my bones. So we're walking around the mall and Bree's like, okay, yeah, Maddie says she finally got it figured out. She's going to wait for us in the lobby. That was the other little red flag. Ding, ding, ding. I was like, why would she wait for us in the lobby? Like she should wait for us in the room. Like why would she want to sit in the lobby if she can go in the room? So we get to the hotel and Maddie's sitting there in the lobby, like scrolling TikTok. And she's like, yeah, I just decided to wait for you guys because you guys were close by. And I was like, again, suspicious. We get into the elevator and I'm kind of waiting to see if Maddie like wants me to walk in front of her because I assumed if there was a surprise, Maddie would want to film it because if you follow Maddie on Instagram, she is like known for her pranks and like filming people and surprising them. So I was like, she for sure is going to want to film this if this is a surprise. And we get to the door and I'm like kind of looking at her and I'm feeling the vibes out and I'm like, I'm just going to go first. I'm just going to give it to her. I'm just going to let her have this moment. But she didn't pull out her phone. So then I was like, okay. And as I open the door, I see all these balloons with messages and I was not expecting that at all. So I was so surprised. But then Maddie and Bree were like, okay, how surprised were you that we had something in the room? And I was like, do you want me to be honest? And they were like, yes. And I was like, scale 1 to 10? They're like, yeah, scale 1 to 10. 10 being the most surprised. I was like, I think I said a 3. I was like, a 3. And they're like, what? And I was like, I know. But the letters, the notes, the balloons, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 surprised. Did not see that coming. It was so sweet. I read the letters and I was like crying because they were so nice. And it was like people in my life that I haven't talked to in a while. Like she had my kindergarten crush. Shout out Marshall Miller. He was like my childhood love of my life. And I was always just like the friend. And like our whole friend group like knows that. They know that I was like so in love with him when I was little. And then Maddie like dated him and he was Maddie's first kiss. And it was like the worst day of my life. And she had him write me a letter. And it was the funniest thing. I wish she would have filmed. That was the other thing. I was still shocked that Maddie didn't film any of this because again, she is the queen of filming surprises. So that in itself was a 10 out of 10 surprising because I was like, how are you not filming this? Because I wish she would have gotten my initial first reaction when I saw his name because she started filming right after my initial reaction because when I first saw it, I was like double take, like, what? And then she pulled out her phone and got like the ending of my reaction. But I was shocked when I saw the words Marshall Miller. Like when I tell you guys, I have not spoken to him since probably 2016. Like I'm pretty sure he came to my wedding. But it was like the funniest thing. And we were all dying laughing because we've all, grown up with the same friend groups since elementary, middle school. And so I was crying, laughing. He was so nice. He was like, long time no see. Congrats on everything you're doing in life. Happy birthday. Like it was so funny. And then there were ones from like my in-laws and my mom, my cousins, like old friends from high school that I haven't talked to in a long time. So it was very, very sweet and so nice. And then we went to Benihana's and I wore a sparkling diaper. Sorry to interrupt, but today's episode is brought to you by Minky Couture. You will never want to buy another blanket ever again. I would know because I've had lots of blankets. And ever since I got that one viral blanket that you see online, the Minky Couture blanket, I am confidently telling you that it is the best blanket ever. Everyone needs to have something as cozy as Minky in their home. There's nothing quite like coming home after a long day and cuddling up with your Minky Couture blanket. They are soft and luxurious, and it feels like a cuddling cloud. Okay, just cuddle it up. There's so many different types of blankets out there, but seriously, nothing compares to Minky Couture. They have the largest selection of colors, sizes, and patterns on the market. They are the creator of the original Hugs blanket, a double-sided, stretchy, and plush style that literally hugs you back. I've never had a blanket that even comes close to my Minky Hugs. Minky Couture is a female-owned business started by a mother who wanted to provide luxurious comfort to her daughter through a tough time. Since 2009, Minky Couture has been able to bring comfort and luxury to homes all over the world. Passionate about giving back to the community, they donate over 30,000 mini Minkies to NICUs across the country every year. And lucky for you guys, I have partnered with Minky Couture to bring this comfort and luxury into your home by offering listeners an exclusive 50% off discount. That's right, 50% off. Use your code weeklytrash at checkout for 50% off your next purchase on all full priced items. You can use it in store or online at softminkyblankets.com. Again, use code weeklytrash for 50% off your next purchase and treat yourself to the best blanket ever. Follow them on Instagram for additional deals and updates at Minky Couture. Thanks, Minky, for sponsoring today's episode. I had this outfit planned and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to wear this. Like, it's super out of my comfort zone. And anytime I see like short shorts, like really short shorts, I just immediately think of Cara Loren. And when Abby Ayers ordered the same shorts as her and like did the video, if you know, you know. And it was like so funny because like Cara Loren could literally pull off a freaking plastic bag over her head. And so she pulls off these like short shorts, no problem. But, I was like, I don't know if I can do it. But I was like, it's my birthday. And if I want to wear a diaper on my birthday, because that's what it looks like. Okay. These short shorts, I'm sorry, they look like a diaper. I like them. They're cute. They're fashionable, high fashion, but they look like a diaper. And here's the thing. Fashion is all subjective. Not everyone's supposed to like it. Same with art, comedy, clothes, fashion, taste. It's all subjective. And so I knew that these shorts weren't going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I was like, it's my birthday. I'm going to wear a sparkly diaper if I want to. So I put them on. My plan was to wear them for pictures and then change before we went to Benihana's because I was like, I'm not going to wear this to Benihana's. Like, Benihana's is not a very fancy restaurant. It's like the restaurant where they cook in front of you if you don't know. And it's like a family restaurant. Like a ton of people go there with their kids. And I was like, I'm not going to wear these short shorts, sparkly shorts to Benihana's. But we were running late and Brie and Maddie were like, just wear them. It's fine. So I walk into Benihana's. Everyone's wearing like jeans and sweatshirts. And I am in a full-on sparkling diaper. And it was a sleigh. It was a sleigh. They looked so good. They were a staple. They were a staple. And I kind of feel like maybe I should wear that to the live show because I don't know what the fuck I'm going to wear. I have bought so many dresses. If you follow on Instagram, I have purchased at this point, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 dresses. They all are not it. I'm getting closer, but I still don't feel like I have found the one, which is so frustrating because I've like been prepped this time. Like I've looked a month in advance and I still have nothing. So I'm like, do I wear a sparkly diaper? Do I wear a sparkly diaper on stage? I think maybe I should get like a pink sparkling diaper or a red sparkling diaper or maybe a white sparkling diaper, or maybe that would give too diapery. But I'm thinking maybe I just go the sparkling diaper route because all the dresses aren't working out. And I was like, should I do a short dress? Because if I do a short dress, which I did last year, I feel like everyone could see my coochie. And I don't know, like there's a part of me that's like, whatever. The other part of me is like, I'd rather not feel so insecure that everyone can see my vagina. So I was like, maybe I do the long dress route. But then the long dress, everything looks like a prom dress. And I'm like, I don't want to look like I'm going to prom. So I really don't know what I'm going to wear. But this is me plugging the live show because there are still tickets. What the hell? Why are there still tickets? We should be sold out by now. Just kidding. There's one section left that has tickets. Please come. It's going to be so fun. I'd love to see you there. And I know that there's going to be some surprises that you're going to really wish you were there to see in real life. So please come. Go get tickets. Link in bio, and I'll put them in the podcast description. Some other things that have happened in my personal trash is my sweet boy, Brooks. He's my second. He's 5. He went on his first date. Yeah, he has a girlfriend. Her name's Ella. And he talks about Ella all the time. He's like, I love Ella. Ella's my best friend. Ella's my girlfriend. They play house when they have like their recess in preschool. And his mama texted me and was like, Ella really wants to get together. And I was like, so does Brooks. Like, we should do a Chick-fil-A lunch date. And I told Brooks, I'm like, we're going to go on a lunch date with Ella. And he took that so seriously. He was like, a lunch date? Like a date? Like a real date? And I was like, I mean, yeah, like a date. Yeah, a date. And he goes, I'm so nervous. And I'm like, buddy, you talk to her all the time. He's like, I know, but this is serious. This is a date, like what you and daddy go on. And I was like, you're right. It is. He was like, we need to get her flowers. And I was like, okay. So I drop him off at school. He's like, don't forget to get pink flowers for Ella. And I was like, okay, you're the cutest boy that ever lived, raising him right. And I go to the store, I get the pink roses, I pick them up, and he's like, did you bring my bow? And I was like, what do you mean your bow? And he was like, my bow. And I'm like, I don't, like, what do you, like a bow, like to put around the flowers? He goes, no, a bow for my neck. He wanted a bow tie, you guys. He wanted to wear a bow tie on his date. Like, I cannot make this up. He's so freaking cute. He's such a gentleman. And I was like, oh, buddy, no, like this is a casual date. He was like, okay, what do you think we should talk about? And I was like, just talk to her the way you talk to her at school. He's like, okay, I'm so nervous. No, I'm not. I'm so brave. This is going to be so fun. I love her. And I was like, you are literally perfect. Like, you're perfect. We get to Chick-fil-A. He's holding his flowers. I have never seen anything so cute in my life. And she walks in, he hands her the flowers, and then she was just a doll. She did not want to let go of the flowers. And they matched her outfit so perfectly. She was wearing a pink shirt. So Brooks was really coming in clutch when he said to get pink. And the cashier at Chick-fil-A was like, oh, where'd you get those cute flowers, sweet girl? And she was like, my friend Brooks, I'm going to marry him. So, I mean, that in itself was a highlight of my week because how freaking adorable. And it just showed me that like I am raising a good man, you know, like the kind of man that wants to buy you flowers, wants to take you on a date, has chivalry, wants to open the door for you. And that is how every boy should be raised. And I think a lot of it contributes to like having a dad that treats their mom like a princess. And so they see that. And that just is like so heartwarming and special because I know that like I love my parents love each other, but like they weren't like the perfect example of like being great spouses to one another. And I think I have a lot of people in my life who can relate to like their dad wasn't the kind of dad that would like rub their mom's feet and get them flowers and like treat them like a princess. And I just love that my kids get to see that. And it hasn't always been like that. Like I've said before, like me and Pedro's marriage has had like its ups and downs, but we're in a point in our lives right now where like I am a princess. I'm a princess and I've been a princess for about 3 years now and I love it. I absolutely love it. And whenever I would like look at other women who were princesses and I was like, you guys, that's not real life. Like, come on, your husbands are unicorns. No. Every husband can be a unicorn. They just need to get a big old spanking. They need to be whipped and trained, and they need to be told that they need to be better and do better because every woman deserves to be treated like a princess. And Brooks, whoever he ends up with, will be treated like royalty. And that's all a mother can hope for. And I also hope that whoever he marries also treats him like royalty. And I don't know how I've now gone on this tangent where like I'm thinking about my 5-year-old son getting married. We got a long ways till that happens, okay? But I am excited for the day that I get to see him treat a woman the way she deserves because it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing watching men treat women the way they deserve. Speaking of treating people the way they deserve, I went on a muting spree. That's right. I was muting everybody. I've decided that I love the mute button. I love muting people. People who, because I think unfollowing people is just like, it's immature. It's rude. Like, I know I always get butthurt when I see someone unfollowed me. Like the other day I commented on somebody's post and I was like hyping them up because I'm a hype girl. And then I was like, I wonder if they still follow me. They didn't. So I unfollowed them and I was like, that was rude. Like, why'd you unfollow me? Like, what the hell? So I decided instead of unfollowing people, because it does hurt my feelings when I see that people unfollow me and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm just going to mute you. And also like business wise, like it's important to follow people and like be in the know, but also I'm following a ton of people who don't ever like my stuff, don't ever comment on my stuff. So like, why would I comment on your stuff? Why would I like your stuff? Like 2026 is the year of me being petty. Like I'm petty as fuck. And I'm like, okay, you're muted. Muted. Consider yourself muted. Okay? Your stories muted. Your posts muted. And I love it. Every day I think I've muted at least 3 people. I also want my algorithm to be people that I actually like engage content with, like my friends, like people that I actually know. So I was like, yeah, this is the way to do it. So I think I've muted like 50 people this week alone. And I don't know, maybe I should, okay, that just sounds excessive. Like that sounds like a me problem now. 50 people? I muted 50 people? Wow. I'm a bitch. No, a bitch would have been unfollowing them. I think muting was like the nicer thing to do. But yeah. And then I wonder, I know who has me muted. Like I know for sure who has me muted because, and this is such a weird conversation. Like imagine our grandparents, our great grandparents, our ancestors listening to this story. They'd be like, you stupid bitches. Like you care that somebody muted you. Also, what does that mean? Like I am actually sitting here right now talking about muting people on social media. Like it is a topic of conversation. I need to touch grass, but instead I'm in my podcast room. So let's talk about it. Yeah, I muted people. And I think the concept of muting people is just an interesting thing. And I know for a fact who has me muted because they follow me, but I have never once seen them in my Instagram story views. Ever. Suspicious. And so I'm like, there are people out there who are following people just to mute them, to follow them. So it's like politically correct or it's like a nice gesture, but then they mute. And it's like, do we even follow them in the first place? Or do we just not follow? Or do we follow and then we mute? Like to follow or to unfollow, to mute or to not mute. Oh, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive where we're literally talking about muting people. Either I'm too sensitive or I'm not sensitive enough. I don't know. But I know that people have me muted. And I'm like, to be honest, maybe this is why I'm so toxic. I would rather them mute me than unfollow me because my pride cannot handle it. Like, what do you mean you never, ever want to be associated with me? Ever? Like, at least when you mute someone, it's like, okay, yeah, we're friends. She just bothers me. Or I like her, but I just don't want to see her stuff. But to unfollow someone, that's so personal. So yeah, I muted a lot of people. I don't really feel bad about it. I don't know. Maybe I'll go through my muted list like every month and be like, okay, who deserves to be unmuted? But the thing is, a lot of people that I muted, I'm pretty sure I'm also muted. So it's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I don't know. This conversation is embarrassing, but I think it needs to be said because I know that some of you listening right now have the same mindset. You're like, why are we muting each other? Why are we following each other? Pride. It all comes down to pride. We're all a bunch of prideful motherfuckers. And that's honestly what's wrong with the world. That's actually why there are so many horrible things happening in the world, not just our country, because I hear a lot of people talking about our country. It's not just our country. It's the whole wide world. And it all stems from pride. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? You know what humbles pride? And it only happens to women, which I think is a problem. I think women get humbled by their luteal phase. I think men need to have luteal phases because I think there'd be a lot less evil and bad in the world if men had luteal phases. I said it. Women, we have a luteal phase. It changes our whole mindset. We think we are the worst thing that ever walked planet Earth. We think we're ugly. We think we're dumb. We think we're fat. We think we're stupid. We think that we don't deserve to be able to breathe air. Like we hate ourselves and our self-confidence goes down. We just aren't happy and we're just bummed and we don't have much energy to do anything. We're also starving. We just want to eat everything we see. We're also kind of crampy a little bit. I think that's what humbles women is the luteal phase. And unfortunately, men don't experience it. And that just seems like a problem. I don't know why when God or the universe or whoever created us, if we're in a simulation, I don't know, but they decided to only give women things that humble us. You want to know why? Actually, you want to know why I think they did that? They did that because they knew that women would take over the world if we didn't have luteal phases. If we didn't have a luteal phase, we would be the president of the United States of America. Like, that is why we haven't had a female president yet, is because of luteal phases. I blame everything on the luteal phase. And if you're like, what the fuck is a luteal phase? It's the week before your period when you feel like a bitch. That is your luteal phase. And that is the phase that has really just slowed us down. It's slowed us down. And that is why men are always, winning and seem to be ahead and also have like so much power. It's because they don't have a luteal phase. And we need to stand together as a united front and not let the luteal phase ruin us. And we need to somehow figure out how to give men a luteal phase. I don't know how, but I think we should figure it out. I think we should figure out how to give men luteal phases and cure cancer. I think those are the two most important things that we could be focusing on in medical science. So, and while we're at it, men's birth control. Because why? That's another thing that humbles women is birth control. We're just going on a whole tangent now. We'll switch gears. Last thing in my personal trash is I have no neck. I have no neck. You heard it first. I posted my try on video because I need to find a damn dress. And somebody commented and said, you have no neck. And here's the thing. I didn't even know that was something that I should be self-conscious about. Add it to the list. I always knew like I have like broad shoulders and I'm very tense. Like I go like this a lot. And I always thought that was the issue. I always thought that's why I felt like a stub. But apparently it's because I have no neck. I don't have a long enough neck. And I was like, okay, what do I do with this information? Has everybody been thinking that I have no neck? Because then I posted it to be funny. And I was like, what do I say to this girl? Do I say, okay, you have no life? Fuck off. No neck, no problems. Like, what do I say to this girl? And I'm not one to be like, don't give the hate any energy. I believe in that until they go into your comment section. When they go into your comment section, like, I want to make them look stupid. Like, it's almost fun. Like, I don't take it personally. It's like a fun game. It's like banter. It's like, okay, you say something, now I say something, and I'm laughing about it. And I just picture them like taking it so seriously. And that's why I think it's fun to like fight in the comment sections of my own videos, not other people's, because that's weird behavior. But I was like, what should I say to this person? And then people were defending me in my own comment section, which God bless. I love you guys. But like, some of the responses to this, you have no neck, were like, does that make you feel better about yourself? Telling her she has no neck? And I'm like, okay, wait, so you agree I have no neck? Wait, so is everybody talking about the fact that I have no neck and I'm just unaware that this is a conversation? Like, this is something that people are protecting me from. They're like, we all know Josie has no neck, but we don't want her to know that. We love her. So like, how dare you bring it up when we've all stayed silent? And now you're bringing up that she has no neck? No. Sit down. Like, the people defending me, it was just like so sweet, but also, do you guys think I have no neck? I have a neck. I have a neck. Is it as long as I'd like it to be? No. Okay. But I have a neck. So I just need to clear that up for anybody who thinks I don't have a neck. If you're watching on YouTube, I have a neck. Okay. I have a neck. It's just not very long. No neck, no problems. But that's my personal trash. That was interesting. We kind of went all over the place, but I feel like this studio has brought out OG Josie, and OG Josie had no filter. Everything was a one take, and she just kind of said whatever the hell came into her brain, and then she just spat it out. That's one thing I want to talk about. Actually, another tangent. Latia was on the podcast, and if you listen to the podcast, Latia talks really slow. I talk very fast. And I told her this after we ended. I was like, you know what I actually really admire about you? And she's like, what? And I was like, that you think before you speak. Like when you're talking, I see her brain turning. Like I see her thinking about what she's going to say next. Not me. I'm just winging it. Whatever I say, whatever comes out of my mouth, it is like the fastest you know, those index cards that like roll. What are those things called? Rolling index cards? That like thing that's like, that's my brain. There's no time to pause, read, think. No, it is full throttle. We're just speaking whatever's in there. It doesn't really matter if it's factual. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. It doesn't matter if it's politically correct. We're just gonna say it. And that is something that I saw in Latia, and I was like, oh, you like think before you speak. What concept is that? Like, how does that feel to like talk slow? And I think I did a really good job because I am known to interrupt people because I talk so fast. And I have seen the comments back in the day. I think it's gotten a lot better. But back in the day, people were like, she interrupts her guests, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to take your criticism and I'm going to work on it because that's constructive criticism. I hear it. I understand it. I also heard a lot of people, I saw a lot of people be like, she says yeah in between sentences. And I was like, yeah, because I'm like, I want them to know I'm engaged. I'm like, yes, keep talking. Yes, yeah. I've also been better at not doing that because I understand that's probably really annoying to just hear me go, yeah, uh-huh, yes, yeah. Like I just need to shut the fuck up. But with Latia, I was on my best behavior because there were so many times where my brain was like, just butt in and speak up and ruin the flow of the conversation. But I was like, no, this is a test. Because Latia is trying to articulate and she's taking her time. And this is a safe place for all. It's a safe place for the fast talkers. It's a safe place for the slow talkers. And I was like, I'm going to just listen. Holy shit. I listened. Okay. I would count in my head. I'd be like, okay, 1, 2. And then she would say something like, okay, see, that's why you don't interrupt, because she still had more of a thought. She still had more of a conversation. She's thinking about what she's going to say. So if you're a person that thinks before you speak, couldn't be me. Love that for you. I don't know how I could even try to do that. And maybe it's ADHD. Maybe I'm on the spectrum. I don't really know. But this podcast is just giving OG. It's giving OG vibes. We're all over the place. And I love it. I love me. Can't help myself because I don't need anybody else. I don't think those are the words, actually. Oh, freak. How does it start? Have you heard people saying that song is actually about masturbation? That I love me. I love myself. Like, let's read the lyrics. We are on such a tangent. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's read the lyrics to I Love Myself. I love myself. When I get chills at night, I feel it deep inside without you. Know how to satisfy, keeping the tempo right without you. Pictures in my mind on replay. I'm going to touch the pain away. I know how to scream my own name. No, this is about masturbation. Like, I know people said it, but it's like, is it? Gonna love myself. No, I don't need anybody else. Hey, gonna love myself. No, I don't need anybody else. I love me. Can't help myself. No, I don't need anybody else. Anytime, day or night, gonna love myself. Okay. Okay, so I think I just confirmed that this is about masturbation. Okay, so it's not a conspiracy. It's real. Because when you hear it singing, it almost sounds like a song that like you should sing with your kids. Like, it's a great message. Like, we love ourselves. I love me. And then it's like, oh, no. Turn it down. Don't read the lyrics. Good song, though. Good vibes. I don't know how I started talking about that. I need a sip of coffee. This voice is giving Sophia Bush vibes, which I kind of like. Also, my coffee is cold now, so it's not really doing anything. But if you wanted to know what I got, I love a peppermint mocha with almond milk. It has so much sugar in it and it's so bad for me, but it tastes so good. Okay, now let's talk pop culture, TikTok, TV trash now that I've literally gone on a million tangents, which I know you guys really loved, so you're welcome. Today's episode is also brought to you by Shed, the easiest way to start your weight health journey. With Shed, it only takes 3 minutes to get started. You'll fill out a quick online form with your goals and health history, and their medical team will create a personalized treatment plan just for you. Everything happens online. No doctor's offices, no pharmacy lines. Your FDA-approved medication ships straight to your door. And the best part, you're not doing it alone. Shed pairs you with a dedicated member success team to help you track progress and stay motivated along the way. Clinically studied treatments, no insurance required, and zero hassle. Get $100 off your first month by using the link in the show notes. Shed is making health simple, effective, and actually doable. Thank you, Shed, for sponsoring today's episode. First things first, I realized I never talked about the Taylor Swift documentary on Disney+. And I'm not going to get into it because I know that people who aren't Swifties don't want to hear it. All I'm going to say is watch it. Even if you're not a Swiftie, watch it. The amount of respect you will gain for this woman, this goddess, she is not real. Like, she wrote not one, but 2 albums. 2 albums while doing this tour. She performed multiple nights in a row, 3-hour plus show. Like, everything about the show is like insane. And then she gave so much money to everyone who worked on the show. Everything about it just like gave me chills, and it just made me love her even more than I already do. And I think it's one of those things that should be shown in classes, in schools, like entrepreneur classes. I think they should just turn on the Taylor Swift documentary and show people what work is, what work ethic is. Because like Kim Kardashian said, which is also Taylor Swift's enemy, it's like nobody wants to work nowadays. Like, you got to get up and work. And I think, Kim, you can sit down, because you know who works harder than you? Taylor Swift. And that's saying something, because Kim does work really hard, but Taylor Swift works harder. She is insane. Insane. So I just had to like throw that out there. Second thing in pop culture, TikTok, TV trash is Tell Me Lies. I'm not caught up. I've watched the first 3 episodes. If you're not watching Tell Me Lies, you are doing yourself a disservice. It is so good. And the only way I can describe it is it's lies. Everyone's lying to each other. It's a web of lies. And if one person would just tell the motherfucking truth, it would save so many people. It would make it so much easier. Like, you're just like screaming at your TV. Like, what are you doing? The 3rd episode with Lucy and Steven, I could not believe what I was watching. And I'm not going to give any spoilers because I want everyone to experience it the way I did. And I just, it makes me so angry. And the other thing is, I think every single woman has experienced a Steven in their life. Majority of women. Just like a gaslighting asshole. Probably like your first like real love, maybe. The most embarrassing thing about my Steven in my life is that he was also other people's Steven. Like, multiple women share the same Steven as me. And it's literally so embarrassing because he's such a loser. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we all fell for that. Like, all of us, all 5 of us, we all have that same Steven. Gross. But Steven, watching that show, kind of gives me like PTSD a little bit. Like, some of the things I'm like, oh, okay, gaslighting narcissist. Like, that's crazy. But Lucy and Steven are lovers in real life, which is something I wanted to address. Grace and Jackson are their names. And I'm pretty sure they're both Nepo babies. I don't know about Grace, but I know that Steven is a Nepo baby. His mom his mom, I think I said this in a podcast before, but his mom is the woman from the Disney movie, the house robot, the house that has the robot. What's that called? House robot? I don't think it's called house robot. Housewife? What's it called? Disney house robot movie. Smart House. That's Steven's mom. Steven's mom is Smart House. Or I guess his name's Jackson. Jackson's mom is Smart House. Anyways, so he's a Nepo baby, and I'm pretty sure Grace is too, because I saw that online, but I'm actually not sure and I don't really want to look it up. But I did want to say that Grace and Jackson. Oh my gosh. Lucy and Steven actually looks like it's their real names. Like it fits them so well that I keep forgetting that their real names are Grace and Jackson. But Grace and Jackson are doing a campaign with Calvin Klein, and it is so hot, so sexy, so steaming. It's steaming, baby. No, it is so steamy, and I'm obsessed with them. Like, I think they are the hottest couple. They just like are cool. Like, you just look at them and you're like, you're cool. Like, how do I be cool? You know? Like, they're the kind of people that show up at a party and like, they don't have to say anything. They just like sit and they're like cool. They're probably smoking a cig, which cigarettes aren't cool. Actually, Pedro thinks cigarettes are cool. Even though he's never smoked a cigarette in his life, he's like, damn, those look cool. And they do. Cigarettes look cool. They really do. But don't do them. No drugs. Say no to drugs. Smoking is bad. Bad for you. But it does look cool. It does look cool. And I can just like picture them smoking some cigs, being cool, having sex, being hot. And now they're in a Calvin Klein commercial campaign. And it's so amazing. Like, whoever decided to have them as the head of the campaign needs a raise, because it's genius. Because not only are they hot as Steven and Lucy, they're also hot as Grace and Jackson. And they've been together for like 3 years. There's actually a lot of people in the cast that are dating, which I think anytime people are dating in a cast, it usually doesn't end up well. Like, that's usually why a show ends, aka Riverdale, One Tree Hill, Vampire Diaries. Like, never really ends well, but it makes for great TV because there's real passion, there's real chemistry, and I pray that these relationships stay. Like, can you imagine how iconic it would be if Grace and Jackson got married? No, like, I couldn't handle it. It would be so good. So you need to watch the show so you understand the lore and how much I love it. Some more TV trash is I watched His and Hers. And me and Aspen got in a fight about it. I literally texted her. I'm like, do we need to stop being friends? Because she didn't like it. And I loved it. It's on Netflix. I also don't want to spoil it because the ending is the most iconic ending I've ever seen in my life. And Aspen was like, there were so many holes in it. This. And I was like, okay, there might have been 1 or 2 holes, maybe. But if you really pay attention, if you're not on your phone the entire episode and you really pay attention and you also use your imagination, you got to use your imagination for some of it, it closes the holes. Okay. And the ending was so good. And if you know that I would do the exact thing that happened in the ending. And I'd get away with it too. Here's the thing. I could be an evil genius. I could be, but I choose to use my powers for good. For example, when we go to concerts and we have shitty seats and somehow I magically get us in the front row, that is my evil genius powers that I use for good. But if what happened in that show happened to my daughter, I wish I could spoil it and say what I want to say, but let's just say it would go down. It would go down. And I don't know what that says about me. Maybe I shouldn't put this in the episode, because if I end up having to do it, they're going to use this in the trial. And they're going to put me in prison for the rest of my life. Oh my gosh. No, guys, I'm actually not an evil genius. I'm such a sweet, innocent angel. I'm an angel. Lisa Barlow, speaking of baby angel gorgeous, what did she say? Baby gorgeous. Lisa Barlow, if you're caught up with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, she said in one of the episodes how she couldn't go to something because she was with Ben Affleck and Blake Lively. She was like, I was with Ben and Blake. I was busy. She was a very big life. You guys know this. Well, somebody interviewed, I think it was Entertainment Tonight or Extra. What is it? Who cares? Anyways, they did an interview with Ben, and because he's in a new movie on Netflix, and they asked him, do you recall meeting Lisa Barlow? And he basically says, no, I have no idea who you're talking about. So then Lisa Barlow, instead of taking the L, she stands on 2 feet and she posts a video on Instagram. I think it was Instagram or TikTok. And it's a video of her at a red carpet event that Blake and Ben are at. But she is nowhere near them. That's like if you went to a restaurant and someone famous just happens to be at the restaurant and you say you went to dinner with them. You didn't go to dinner with them. They just happened to be at the same restaurant. Like, the level of delusion that Lisa Barlow has needs to be studied. I'm obsessed. I love her. And if you want some juice, I have tried to get her on this podcast since 2023. Our DMs go back as far as 2023, and I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm done shooting my shot, which is crazy because I feel like we would have the best combo. Lisa, what are you doing? I have so many questions, but she's just, you just don't know what you're getting, you know? Like, I think she lives in a different universe. And I used to think that about Meredith too. I was like, Meredith lives in a different universe. I think Meredith has finally landed on Earth, and still hilarious though, says the best things. But Lisa truly, like, I'm like, are you good? Are you okay? Like, I want to be that delusional. And that's the thing. Who knows if her money is real? Who knows if all the things she talks about are real? But the fact that she believes in herself enough to either lie about it or it happens is applaudable. It really is. But I was dead seeing that she actually wasn't with them. She just was at something that they were at. And from now on, that's what I'm going to say. Like, if I go to something and I see that there's a famous person, I'm just going to say I was with them. I was hanging out with them. Like, what about it? What about it? I went to California. Justin Bieber lives in California. Hence, I was with Justin Bieber. It's as easy as that. Makes sense. Makes sense. Some last bit of pop culture TikTok trash is Nikki Glasser was the host of the Golden Globes. And let me just pull out her outfits because they were so stunning. Okay. And she is not only funny and hot, but she's confident. And to have her job, you have to be so confident because you know how scary it is to, first of all, go on stage in general, just to like go on stage, but then go on stage and make fun of the people that are in the audience. Iconic. And to look hot while doing it. She has 2 stylists. I don't know their names. I saw a TikTok about it, but they've been styling her for a long time now. And they just perfected every single outfit. Like, she looked so good. And I want to be her. Like, I really do. Like, I think I want to go into stand-up comedy. Like, I think that'd be really fun, but also really scary. But I think I should do it. Maybe at the live show, I should just like wing it. Like, I should just start throwing out some like live comedy stuff and like try to be the next Nikki Glasser, because I would give anything to be hot on stage at the Golden Globes making fun of people. Like, that would just be a dream job. And she does it so perfectly, like so well. Like, she should do it every single year until, of course, I can do it. Wow, that was like so confident of me to say that. That's literally never going to happen. But dream big, folks. Dream big. I want to be Nikki Glasser. That's my idol. I think I'm putting Nikki Glasser as my dream guest. Like, top dream guest. So delusional. We're putting our Lisa Barlow crown on, okay? I am going to podcast one day with Nikki Glasser. Me and Nikki are going to be besties, okay? Me and Nikki already are besties because we live on the same planet. We live on the same planet. Hence, me and Nikki know each other. We're friends. We both came from Adam and Eve. So, therefore, we're sisters. Blood sisters. Me and Nikki know each other. I know Nikki. She knows me. See how that works? See how that works? Gosh, taking a bite out of the Lisa Barlow pie. It's yummy. It's delicious. It feels good. Feels good to be delusional. But yeah, Nikki, if you hear this ever, God, I hope you do. I love you. And I don't know if I am in love with you or I want to be you or I want to be with you or what it is, but you are everything to me. So if I ever do become a stand-up comedian, I will 1,000% attribute it to Nikki Glasser. But also stand-up comedy is like truly the most terrifying job on planet Earth because again, comedy is subjective and there will be people in the audience who don't think you're funny. And that's terrifying. That's terrifying. I guess I'll test it out at the live show, see what happens. I just do a dialogue. Okay, now we can move on to Trasher's Trash because you guys have some good ones. So let's get right into it. I have a secret Instagram account where I comment on my own videos and like them so I can get more engagement on my videos. Am I weird? You know, I can't say you're weird because I did a 10-minute long section of this podcast episode talking about muting versus unmuting people. So I'm also part of the problem with social media and letting it control our brains and doing crazy shit like making a fake Instagram to like our photos. Here's the thing. One like on your photo isn't going to do much for the algorithm. So at the end of the day, you're not really doing much. Does it take a lot of time to make a whole new account? Not really. So you didn't really waste that much time and you're just hyping yourself up. Is it weird? Subjective. Okay. Everything in life is subjective. I have 3 accounts. I have my personal, I have the Weekly Trash, and then I have the Weekly Trash podcast. And you bet your sweet ass that all those accounts are liking every single one of my photos. So I guess in a way, we are one and the same. Is mine a fake Instagram? No. But I'm doing the same thing. And I always thought, and maybe people have thought this too, that it's like cringy to like your own photo. Like you like your own photo. No, 2026 is the year of liking your own photos. It's the year of hyping yourself up. And like, if I didn't like the photo, I wouldn't have posted it. So I obviously like the photo, so I'm obviously going to like it. But also 2026 is the year that we realize that social media is not real. It's a fake universe. Once you put your phone down, literally none of it exists. And that is why this episode is brought to you by The Brick. I'm just kidding. It's not. I really wish it was. I really wish it was because The Brick is incredible. It's changed my life. And if you don't know what it is, I talk about it all the time, but like you brick your phone and it like locks you out of apps. And I have TikTok and Instagram locked out whenever I brick up. And I feel like maybe you should get a brick. I feel like if you hit the point where you're making fake Instagram accounts to like your content, you should get a brick. But I also think you should like your own photos. I know that's not the question you asked, but I'm also just telling everybody that like, it's okay to like your own photo. I've decided. I'm making it a rule. You can like your own photos. So I better see your little profile circle on every single one of your photos liking it because you deserve to. You deserve to like your photos. Okay, next. Today's episode is brought to you by Boom Trashers. You already know I'm going to put you on the good stuff. If you need winter outfits, any outfits really, Boom is the move. Their sweaters, so good. Their dresses, I'm obsessed. I swear every time I go to their site, there's something new and I'm like, okay, fine, add to cart. There's seriously so much. So if you want to be cute this season, and I know you do, go shop Boom and use code TRASHER20 for 20% off. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Again, that's boom.com, BOHME, code TRASHER20. Love ya. And thanks Boom for sponsoring today's episode. I lost my virginity last night. I'm 22, not married, and it was with a boy I really like, but we aren't official. He doesn't know he was my first. Do I tell him? Wow. This is a hard one because I could go either way here. First of all, how are you? Are you good? Because whether you live in like a religious space, because I know like here in Utah, the culture, it's like if you have sex before marriage, you feel guilty and you feel bad and you feel dirty. But even if you don't live in a religious culture, even if you aren't religious, it's still a big deal. Like I think a lot of people are like, sex isn't a big deal. They're trying to like push that narrative of like sex is just sex, which I think we need to be better at talking about sex and not taking it so serious. But at the end of the day, like sex is serious. It's your body. And so sex for your first time mentally does something, whether or not it's with someone you love or someone you don't love or a one night stand or whatever it is, whatever the circumstances is, it does affect you. So how are you? Are you doing okay? Are you good? If you are, good. If you're not, talk to somebody. But I think the hard thing about this is you say you like him, like you really like him, but you're not official. So does that mean that you're dating? Because I feel like when you're dating someone, talking about your sexual experiences, I feel like is something that kind of comes up in conversation. So that's actually a little concerning that you really like this guy, but he didn't know you were a virgin. Like, were you embarrassed to tell him? And if you were embarrassed to tell him, that tells me that you don't really feel safe with him. And if you don't really feel safe with him, then I don't really think he's your person. But I also don't want to say that because you just had sex with him. And if you just had sex with him, you kind of want him to be your person. So maybe there's this like inner conflict within your head of like, you want to tell him because you feel like you can, but at the same time, you're a little embarrassed or you don't want him to be like, oh my gosh, I just took your virginity. But at this point, he did. And if he really likes you and you tell him, it's not going to change anything. If he doesn't like you and you tell him, yeah, maybe he gets like freaked out by it, whatever. But I think that like tells you so much more about him and the fact that your relationship would have never worked in the first place because he's kind of a piece of shit. Like, I think you should tell him 1,000% because whether he's going to be your boyfriend one day or he's not, I think that's something that like you shouldn't have to like hide or pretend that's not happening. Like, let's say at the end of the day, like you end up marrying this guy. He's never going to know. Like he's going to find out at some point. And I think before you fall in love with him, you tell him because at this point, you obviously have a bond and a connection, but you can end it before it gets even more serious and you're not stuck with this guy that you madly fell in love with who doesn't love you back. Not saying that's what's happening, just saying you should tell him. That's what I think you should do. I am divorced, but now fully second guessing my decision. I truly feel a huge hole in my heart and long for him most hours of the day. It's been almost 2 years. What do I do? Reach out or just keep going? I think it depends on like why you got divorced. Because if you got divorced because he cheated on you, I don't think you should give him a chance. Like for you to like go as far as getting a divorce, like I think that's the nail in the coffin. And I don't think you should go back to a relationship with a man who doesn't respect you. If you got divorced because he was abusive, absolutely don't reach out to him. But if you got a divorce because you fell out of love or maybe you guys were fighting over like little things and you just weren't happy anymore, I think that's a time where like maybe you can reflect on it and be like, okay, have I changed? Has he changed? Like, would it work now? Somebody the other day, I think it was Camille Monday, she had posted that her parents were getting remarried and they were divorced and then they got remarried. So it does happen. Like I think sometimes divorce, seeing what you lose makes you want it more because you always want what you can't have, right? So I think in some situations, divorce kind of wakes people up and it's like, oh, wow, I had it good. Like I actually really loved you and I didn't realize how much I loved you and how much I cared about you and how special you were until I didn't have you anymore. So that might be the case in this situation. But if he was a piece of shit, like he's always going to be a piece of shit. But if he's not, and you might have just fallen out of love, and you think about him most hours of the day, I think you reach out because I think you'll always wonder, like, should I have reached out? made a social media account to start influencing and blocked everyone I know. It's actually growing slowly. It's so scary and exciting. Okay, back to the crazy social media influencer online culture that I have talked about today. When you start influencing, first of all, that sounded literally so cringe. Everyone's an influencer. You influence people every single day. If you're a good person, you influence other people to be a good person. If you're a shitty person, you influence people to be a shitty person. Everyone has influence. Every single person, whether it's a big audience, a small audience, everyone has some form of influence. But when you start content creation, when you start posting online and you want to influence a larger group of people, you have to go in it with the thought of, I don't care who sees this. I don't care if it's my neighbor. I don't care if it's a random person in India, because we all get a lot of random follows from India. And we're like, where did these come from? Okay. You have to not care who sees what you're posting, because that is the only way to truly grow, is when you just post and you don't care who sees it. I also think this is also kind of a side tangent, but I also think that goes with showing your kids. You have to realize you don't know who's seeing what you post. And I don't know about you, but I kind of care who gets to see my kids. So yeah, I don't show my kids. But when it comes to me, I'm a very open book. I will show literally anything. And sometimes I go, that's kind of crazy that my father-in-law could potentially see me trying on dresses, saying my boobs aren't big enough. But at the end of the day, I would literally say that to his face. Like, that's just who I am. You have to be the same person you are offline, online to succeed. And even then you still might not succeed, because it kind of is like a gamble. You try, and sometimes you succeed, sometimes you don't. But you have to go into it thinking, I don't care who sees this. So the fact that you're already like, oh, I don't want my friends to see this. Okay, they're not your friends, first of all. Second of all, wrong attitude, wrong mindset. Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Because if you feel okay posting it and letting people who don't know you see it, you should be okay with letting people who do know you see it. Everyone in Utah seems like they have their life all together. What is your take on this? I think social media makes it look like everyone has their life together, whether they're in Utah or not. I do think Utah is kind of peculiar because we do things at a quicker rate. We get married faster. We have kids sooner. I have, family members that don't live in Utah, and they probably look at me like, that's crazy that Josie's 30, has 3 kids, a podcast, a house, a mortgage. But I will say it is because I live in Utah. Because if I didn't live in Utah, that mindset, that culture of, oh, you should get married fast, you should buy a house, you should have kids, like that probably wouldn't have happened. So I do think Utah does breed that, but I also don't think everyone does have their life together. I think a lot of it is for show. I think there is a sense of perfectionism here. There's a big, keeping up with the Joneses mindset. And you're going to see that everywhere. But I think here it is heightened a little bit because everyone is trying to be the best. And everyone is doing a really good job at looking like they're doing the best. And I think Utah is a very competitive place. I mean, look at just the businesses that are here. We have multiple successful businesses that are producing the same products, that are competing with each other, and they're the best in the country. They're the best in the country, and they're both in Utah. Like, I think Utah just breeds successful people and the mindset of trying to be the best. But I don't think that means that everyone has their life together. But it does look like that sometimes. But I think that's when you have to realize like social media is not 100% real. Because yeah, like I said, like I have all these things, but like I still have my luteal phase. Okay. Back to the luteal phase. We never have our shit together. We never have our life together when we're in the luteal phase. So yeah, I do think Utah has more of that, but I think you could find that everywhere. But Utah definitely expedites life for sure. Need motivation to spice things up. I'm never in the mood and it feels exhausting. I'm in that same boat right now, if I'm being so honest. I know 2025 Josie was fucking all the time. 2026 Josie, I mean, it's only January, like 20th? I'm tired. I need a nap. I don't want to be touched. And I don't know if it's because I'm busy or because I just am worn out. I don't know. But for me, I think the best way for me to like spice things up or to get me in the mood is to kind of romanticize my relationship. And this is going to sound really weird, so stay with me, buckle up. I mean, if you're already still listening, then you've buckled up already. But I'll watch shows. For example, Tell Me Lies. And I'll watch shows and I'll see the way that the man treats the woman. And even if it's a good or bad way, I will relate it to my own relationship. And I'll be like, wow, I'm so lucky that my husband doesn't do that. Or wow, I'm so lucky my husband does do that. Like, and I'll romanticize it a little bit. And then that makes me, in return, love my husband more and then like be hornier. Does that make sense? It's like the same thing as like watching a love scene and like people are making out and kissing and you're like, oh my gosh, wait, I can do that with my husband. Like, there's something about it. I'm not saying go watch porn, okay? You guys know how I feel about porn. I think porn can like be a slippery slope. But looking at other things, reading books that have, romance, just romanticizing your own relationship, I think can get you in the mood. And that is something I'm still trying to do because like I said, I am not in the mood in 2026. I am the opposite of in the mood. Whatever the opposite is, that's me. I'm an average height girl dating a dwarf. I love him to pieces, but still am struggling with the constant stares and wondering what people say behind my back. I love that you're in love. That's amazing. And I can't relate. I've never dated a dwarf, but I do know that love comes in all shapes and sizes. And I think there's a lot of people who are in relationships where they feel like people are looking at them or judging them or confused by it. But at the end of the day, like your relationship is how you feel. And it's obviously going to be a struggle to like block out the noise and be like the thought of being perceived and people thinking things. But you just have to remember, like at the end of the day, it's you too. And it's easier said than done, but like it doesn't matter what anyone says, what anyone thinks, like you are in love. Like you love somebody. And that is so beautiful because there are so many people in life who never ever get to feel that way about somebody. And so tell everyone to fuck off. Like if you see people staring at you, give them the bird. Like I just don't think you should ever let that affect you being with somebody. I mean, not that you said that, but just remember how lucky you are that you are experiencing being loved by somebody and loving somebody, because that's amazing and that's beautiful. Also, will you ask your boyfriend if they like the term dwarf or little person? Because I always thought it was little person, not dwarf. But you said dwarf, which means he probably prefers dwarf. But I always thought you don't say dwarf, you say little person. So let me know, DM me, because I'm trying to be politically correct here. Okay, last one. My mother-in-law keeps sending me parenting videos. It's really starting to piss me off. I ignore them, but it's a constant battle. She also talks about parenting at our family dinners and will put words in my mouth that I have never said. We have very different parenting methods. Whenever I get the trasher's trash about mother-in-laws and people complaining about their mother-in-laws, where's your husband? Like, I feel like it's his mom. Shouldn't he say something? Like, there are so many times I get submissions where people are like, my mother-in-law said this and it was so rude. My mother-in-law did this and it was so mean. Go tell your husband to stick up for you. Go tell your husband to say something. It's not your battle to fight. Like, yes, you're an independent woman. You could do it yourself, but it's his mom. It's his mom. So like, you should be like, hey babe, do you hear how she's like kind of bashing on our parenting? Like, can you say something? Will you please tell her to stop? Will you tell her to stop sending me videos? Like, yeah, you could do it yourself, which I would have no problem doing with my mother-in-law because she's a saint and I love her. But if you have like a not good relationship with your mother-in-law, I think your husband should take the reins on this and he should be the one to do it. Let him be the bad guy. And he probably won't be the bad guy because a mother loves her babies. So have your husband deal with it. Not your problem. And also, I think a lot of people have different parenting views and everyone needs to stay in their own lane. As long as your kids are healthy, safe, loved, adored, taken care of, you're doing a good job. Okay? So that is it for this week's solo. I hope you enjoyed the tangents. I hope you didn't mind the raspy voice. If you're still listening, go buy tickets to the live show if you haven't already, and see good, do good. And don't forget to take out your trash. Love ya. Bye.